Once upon a time, in the magical land of Neverland, Peter Pan and Wendy were living together in a beautiful treehouse. But as time passed, they found that living in Neverland was becoming quite boring. Peter was tired of playing the same games with the Lost Boys, and Wendy longed for some excitement and adventure. One day, as they were wandering through the forest, they heard a loud crash and saw a pirate ship sailing towards them. Captain Hook had arrived in Neverland, ready to cause chaos and mayhem. Peter Pan's eyes lit up with excitement as he saw his old nemesis. "Finally, some real excitement!" he exclaimed, grabbing Wendy's hand and flying towards the ship. As they landed on deck, Captain Hook smirked and taunted them.
Well, 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 if it isn't my dear brother Peter Pan, still playing games with children, I see.
Peter clenched his fist, his eyes blazing with anger. "You know, I'll never give up, Hook. I'll always be young at heart, unlike you." Wendy rolled her eyes at the two brothers, knowing that their sibling rivalry was never-ending. She watched as they engaged in a battle of words, trading insults and taunts. But as the sun began to set, Peter and Hook called a truce and sat down to talk. It was then that they revealed a shocking truth. They were actually brothers. Hook had left Neverland when he was younger, only to return years later to try and convince Peter to leave with him. Peter shook his head. "I belong here in Neverland, Hook. This is where I feel alive and free." Hook sighed, realizing that his brother would never leave. But instead of leaving, he decided to stay in Neverland and play pirates with Peter, much to Wendy's dismay. As the days passed, Peter and Hook continued to spar and play pirates, their battles becoming more intense and competitive. Wendy watched from the sidelines, amused by their antics but also touched by the bond between the two brothers. One day, as they were sailing on the Jolly Roger, a storm hit Neverland, threatening to destroy everything in its path. Peter and Hook worked together to steer the ship to safety, their differences set aside as they fought against the raging winds and crashing waves. As the storm passed and the sun emerged, Peter and Hook looked at each other, a newfound respect in their eyes. They may have been brothers, but they were also friends and partners in adventure. Wendy smiled, knowing that even in the midst of chaos and conflict, there was always room for love and understanding. And as the sun set on Neverland, she knew that Peter, Hook, and their pirate crew would continue to sail the seas, searching for new adventures and challenges to conquer together. And in that moment, she realized that sometimes the greatest adventures are the ones we share with those we love.